you that the snapshot is due in 11 hours. You are one of the 48. Take it because it would be silly to not have something so fresh in your minds with your homework. So that will be, but I expect you to have a pencil and a paper out when you're doing the proportions, or not proportions, probability. I don't mind if you look at notes before you take it. Don't leave the browser because it sends me 7 minutes. I'm like, well, what is he doing during those 7 minutes? That sort of thing. It out. Don't leave. So if there's this, I'm going to go down to the computer. I have to take a test. Don't bother. Okay. You need. Because you guys almost had to complete that. Yes. Sir? They did an update, I think. I saw that the website's a little bit different now. And my phone. But don't take it on, please take it on a computer. Yeah.
Sorry if it because
Right. Expect you to come over. Hey, get over here, the fire alarm's going off. No, it's if you there's situations everywhere. All right, so this is 11.7 quadrilaterals. I don't need to read that because you can pause it and read that and also recording it. So the bottom line is there are a lot of similarities within these quadrilaterals. But what we're going to be with our homework is the sum of the measure of the angles of a quad. Did I not? Like I say, I didn't. No, we're recording right now, but I didn't erase all the notes. Okay, yeah, I did. We're just kidding. Okay. You saw nothing, Jon Snow. Okay. So for this one here, mark the congruent sides and congruent angles. You're going to classify each quadrilateral using the best and most specific name possible. Now, zoom in a little bit, Ski. As we're looking at this, we identified the other what angles are congruent. And I did that by using the hash marks and the arcs. And in this situation, the arcs are actually just, since they're 90 degrees, they're these right angles right here. And we decided that this is a rectangle. Has anybody else heard my bad rectangle joke today? Okay. Also, another word for rectangle is conditioner because it'll wreck your tangle. Because it helps you brush out tangles. Yeah. I made that bad joke today. Yeah. This one should actually be angle B is congruent to angle C because I opened the window. Okay, and I could write this all out. With what? I can close this. The temperatures. Oh no. No, silly. Put your hood down anyway. So we decided that was a rectangle. And while we're at it, this one here. This distance, actually, of BC is actually not congruent to AD. But when we do these hash marks here, that tells us it is. I can do it right here. The DC actually measures to being 18 inches, and AD actually measures to being 21 inches. So it's not to scale, okay? To scale, I'm telling you, is a square. Yeah, sorry. This point the last two examples, so we're going to shoot through the easy to get to one that's difficult. Yeah. 360 degrees. Yeah, the measures inside a quadrilateral measure to be 360 degrees. That's a huge thing for the work, sorry. 360 degrees. No, it wouldn't have been good. Thank you for catching that. Because my priority is just the last examples in the homework. It gets there. So we're going to do the same thing together as it was with the rectangle. You done? Okay, well, you were still writing.
Yeah.
No, this isn't Rose making Jack lay on the door. It's from, so as we label CD, you could label those on the order as long as I rule that they have consecutive. So I could have A, B, one of the other corners that's around it. So what that's saying is if I was going to be identifying this one, I couldn't have this corner be A, this one be B, this one be C, and this one be B. Okay? I couldn't do that. You're not allowed to do it when you're looking. So when I say naming quadrilaterals, I'm not calling them not a name. Okay? All right? So that's not what we're talking about. You can't label it out of order like that. So we have A, B, C, quadrilateral A, B, C, D. I will tell you to that. This angle here is congruent to that angle. And there's going to be one set sides. So I'm going to tell you that angle B is congruent to angle C. Angle A is congruent to angle. My voice is a little bit higher pitched. And as far as side, we have side AB is congruent to side you rinse. Thank you. Okay. Now, if we have pairs of congruent angles, just one of congruent sides, what is that shape called? We have two congruent angles and just one set of congruent sides. Yeah, Frankie. Frankie, what is it? This is a trapezoid. This is a trapezoid. Also, we could say one of AD is parallel to BC. There will be times where you're going to need to identify it, but bottom line is make sure you write down when I write down, after I write down. Thank you, sir. Flavored water. Thank you. Euclid, probably. No. All right. Next situation. We're going to label it the same way we did. A, B, C, D, just for consistency. And I'll tell you that this side, angle A is congruent to angle C. B is congruent to D. And all the sides are congruent. As all sides congruent and two sets of congruent angles. What's the name for that up at the top? Excuse me. Nope, not a square. Square has all sides are angles are congruent. Max is a rhombus. That's a rhombus. Rhombus actually is. It's a square where the wind blows it over a little bit. So the top is like that. Or you could think of it as being a square that's on its corner. And someone pushes down on it, and the sides are still the same. It just makes it into a diamond. Okay? All right, so we've done written all those congruencies, written all those. You could also write out congruencies with this one. That one, but we're not going to because I want to get to the examples. Now, in these situations, the arc shows this measure, not for congruency, because from what we've learned in this class, if you have just one arc on each corner, that means it's all congruent. Yeah.
She's laughing for another reason.
Well, I'm laughing for your yawn. And I'm going to draw an X. I'm going to put a degree sign. So in these sections, arc shows what is being measured. Now, to show you the other way that it would be, if it wasn't measuring this part right here, it might be asking you to measure the outer angle of D. And that's what it would look like there. So this little arc wouldn't be here. It would just show an outer spot like that you'd measure. And that's why it's not wrong to have those circles. So that's just for future reference. And this word here is congruency. All right, so let's find this out. Now, in order to find x, what do I know about these quadrilaterals? Jace.
The sum of the measure of the angles of quadrilateral is 360 degrees.
It's going to add up, thank you, it's going to add up to 360 degrees, no matter what we do here. So I have all my angles. I have angle A, which is 83 degrees. I have angle B, which is 107 degrees. I have angle C, which is 115 degrees. And angle D, which is X degrees. And Jace just told me that's going to equal 360 degrees. It doesn't say 5 plus X. It says angle C, which is 115, plus angle X. So we have all this. Are you with me or thinking about other stuff, Johanna? Stick with me, please. Now, I want you to break this down because there were a couple students on their test for the test. 13. There were 2 of you. The reason why I want you to break it down is so you don't it can cost, especially if you don't show your work and it's automatically wrong. It scared me how many people did not show their work and they couldn't get half credit. But so what you're going to do is you're going to break these down and add these up in chunks. So this one would be 190 plus 115 plus X equals 360. Then I'm going to add these two together, and it's going to be 306? No. 2, 305 plus x equals 360. Now, I have here that I need to see what's happening to x. Let's talk what's happening to x, AD. What is true, but that's not answering the question. If I ask you what's happening to x and you say 360 minus 305, that doesn't. That's the goal. What's happening as you look at this without any math, then looking at this, what is happening to x? Good, yeah, 305 is being added to it. So in order to undo that, Mr. Barnes, what do I have to do? You have to talk to it? What'd you say? Good, yes, we have to take away, which is minus 305 to both sides. And we're going to end up with x equals 55. What happened to your equal sign here? So this x equals 55. Since all we had to do is solve for x, we're done with this one. Done with this one. This one here is going to be the exact same way. On my website, you can get this. For this group, I'll just write Smith. Every other class has to have that done. Okay, so 7th period only. Ew. Period only. All the class periods I have to have it. And I recommend you actually look at my website and write this one down. Okay, this one will help you. There's several questions like it. It's similar to one, and you guys can do that. And we're not going to do this one either, but I will talk you through it. Yes, please write it down. So we have 4. Didn't have a label, so we had to write 90 in there because that's what that half square means. Highlights. Stretching. I left 3 different files. So I don't have a water bottle right now. So what we did here was we just added 126 to 90 to 90. So it's 180 plus 126 equals y. Then 180 plus 126 equals 3. Y, so we have to undo what's happening by subtracting 306, and we do it to both sides, and we get y equals 54. Yes, sir. Any questions on that? Is anyone not done? Okay. Next page. I want you to write this down, please. In order to solve two-step equations, you must do order of operations. PEMDAS. Why is it that? PEMDAS backwards. So would be like a sad map. Like a map that's drawn poorly. A sad map.
Did you say Dora?
So you have to do PEMDAS backwards because we're actually doing the inverse, and inverse means backwards. Okay? The order of operations is the inverse operations. Backwards. We're doing it, so we have to go backwards. So if you had a choice between multiplication and subtraction in this situation, we're solving or subtraction. But exactly because it is backwards for solving inequalities. Now, this one here, we have two of them that are just going, ugh. We have this guy, which has this guy, which has equation of itself. And in the homework, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to solve for x, but the only thing you're going to have to do, you're going to that and substitute it in. Okay? So let's start having fun with that. Yep. It isn't difficult, it's just time-consuming, and that's what people were complaining about last period. So the first thing we have to do is we have to add up all the angles so they're equaling, so it equals how 60 degrees. So I have to take 5x plus 3, 7, 10x plus 7, and 88, and add those together equal 360. Or 360, sorry. So we have angle E, which is 5x plus. Oops.
Good afternoon. Please excuse the interruption. Due to the weather conditions, the volleyball game against Staunton has been canceled tonight, and there will be no volleyball practice. Teachers, please allow students to call home if they need to make transportation arrangements. Thank you.
So that is, so here's angle E. That's angle E. Here's angle, what is that in the lower left? Here. 10x plus, 10x plus 7 is angle, what is it? K. And then we have plus 88, which is angle S. So I'm going to back up a little bit so you guys can see it at home. And that's equal 360 degrees. Hand up, yes? Yes. Actually, because it's addition, we don't need that. But if this is what a student just asked. If we could do this, where we do parentheses around each angle, and that's totally fine. If you need to do that to the first one, sure. Just like that. I see what you're saying. So here. But no, you don't need to, because it's going to be for the next step what we have to do. Oops. So we'll start here. And I'm going to write, I need to find like terms. I need to find like terms. Right? What do you keep saying? Respect the X? So I need to find like terms, and this is one where some of you like the distributive property. You were struggling when we do these review stuffs. So I'm going to rewrite this, but using better technology. Go ahead and write that below that while I'm doing this copy paste. Oh yeah, deal with it. What is going on here? There. Copy. No. Okay, what's going on here? There we go. I got it. So I'm going to identify what are the like terms here. Now, if I have 5 X boxes and I add 3 more, or if I hands me the number, do I have 8 X boxes? No, they are not like terms. But if I have 5 X boxes and someone hands me 10 more X boxes, because the more is indicated by this plus signal right here, I know that I now have 15 X boxes. Sell them. Then if I have an integer of 3 and an integer of 127, I together, can I? Yeah, because they're just integers, and I can add integers to each other. Then I have an integer 7, and I add 88 to it. Can I do that? Yes, I can. So that becomes out to be 95. Then we still have that equals 360. And because I'm doing step by step, I don't want to add 1, or I don't want to add 6 and 4 and 13. In other words, make silly mistakes. I'm adding 130 to 195. This is going to be 225 equals 360. And don't forget to bring that 15x down. So now we have 15x plus 225. I have a 2 for x in 2 steps. I do. Because I can't do the normal order of operations, I'm going to rewrite that so it's horizontal. 15x plus 225 equals 360. What am I going to do first if I need to find the inverse, which means backwards compared to normal order of operations? Here we have multiplication. I'm going to take care of the addition first. I think that's what you mean by that. So I'm going to take away 225 because 225 is being added to 15x. And because I have to do it to both sides so the siblings don't get angry, because this is an equal sign after all, I have to subtract 225 from both sides. So I have 15x plus 0 equals 135. Now this one here is what my 6th graders have a test on in a couple of days. Yep. I think that we are not going to have it possibly next year because 6th graders learned it, but we use it a lot. But it's good to review for those that don't remember. So in order to get x by itself, now I have to undo what's being done to x because it's being multiplied by 15. So that means I have to divide by 15 to get it by itself. And 135 off the top of my head is 9. Just kidding. Work it out. Now, am I done? I solved for x. Woohoo! I am done. I'm not done. I have to bring this back up here. I have to bring it back up there, and I still have to solve for angles. Yes, yes. See what I mean by time consuming? I'll be able to get to it, but I have the answers on there anyway. So I have to substitute in there. I have to solve for angle E, and we just found that it's 9, so I'm going to put a 9 in here. So 5 times 9 is 45, plus 3 is 48 degrees. Yep. Okay. Then for this one down here, I'm going to substitute 9 in for my x. We've got 97 degrees. And that's how much k is. And I suggest you guys look at my to get the answer for the other one, but I will be Yes, you have homework. And here's the solution for the other one. your homework. And if is there any extra?